Hello everyone. Happy with new video for health. Ultra-processed foods. How bad are they for your health? What is ultra-processed food? The term ultra-processed foods comes from the Nova food classification system, which was developed by researchers at the University of São Paulo, Brazil. The system places food into 4 categories based on how much they have been processed during their production: unprocessed or minimally processed foods. This includes produce such as fruit, vegetables, milk, fish, pulses, eggs, nuts and seeds that have no added ingredients and have been little altered from their natural state. Processed ingredients. This includes foods that are added to other foods rather than eaten by themselves, such as salt, sugar and oils. Processed foods. These are foods that are made by combining foods from groups 1 and 2, which are altered in a way that home cooks could do themselves. They include foods such as jam, pickles, tinned fruit and vegetables, homemade breads and cheeses. Ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods typically have more than one ingredient that you never or rarely find in a kitchen. They also tend to include many additives and ingredients that are not typically used in home cooking, such as preservatives, emulsifiers, sweeteners, and artificial colors and flavors. These foods generally have a long shelf life. Examples of ultra-processed foods can include 1. Ham and sausages. 2. Mass-produced bread, breakfast cereals, instant soups. 3. Crisps and biscuits. 4. Ice cream and fruit-flavored yogurts. 5. Carbonated drinks and some alcoholic drinks including whiskey, gin, and rum. 1. Ham and sausages. Ham and sausages are classic favorites on breakfast plates, party tables, and holiday feasts. But have you ever stopped to think about what's really inside these processed meats, and how they might affect your health? Let's take a closer look. First, ham. While fresh, unprocessed ham from a quality cut of pork can be a good source of protein, most store-bought ham is highly processed. It's often cured with a mix of salt, nitrates, and sometimes sugar. Nitrates help preserve color and prevent bacterial growth, but when cooked at high heat or digested in the body, they can form nitrosamines, compounds linked to a higher risk of certain cancers. Plus, many hams are injected with water, flavorings, and preservatives to boost taste and shelf life. Now, sausages. These savory links can be made from pork, beef, chicken, or a blend, but many commercial varieties contain high amounts of sodium, saturated fats, and chemical preservatives. Some also include fillers, breadcrumbs, and artificial flavor enhancers. Eating them often may contribute to heart disease, high blood pressure, and inflammation over time. But here's the thing, it's not about never eating ham or sausages again. Instead, think about upgrading your choices. Look for nitrate-free, minimally processed options from trusted butchers or brands. Choose sausages with a short ingredient list, made from lean meats, herbs, and natural spices. And balance them with plenty of vegetables, whole grains, and fiber-rich foods to reduce the impact of the sodium and fats. The takeaway: ham and sausages can be enjoyed in moderation, but they shouldn't be an everyday habit. By choosing better quality products and keeping portions small, you can still savor their flavor without overloading your body with unhealthy additives. 2. Mass-produced bread, breakfast cereals, instant soups. In today's fast-paced world, many of us rely on quick and easy foods like mass-produced bread, breakfast cereals, and instant soups. But what's really inside these everyday staples, and how do they impact our health? Let's break it down. First, mass-produced bread. Most store-bought loaves are made with refined white flour, which has been stripped of fiber and nutrients. They often contain added sugars, preservatives, and dough conditioners to extend shelf life and make the texture fluffy. The problem: this type of bread can cause quick spikes in blood sugar, offer minimal nutrition, and contribute to weight gain if eaten in excess. A better option is whole grain or sourdough bread, which contains more fiber, vitamins, and beneficial bacteria for your gut. Next, breakfast cereals. Sure, the colorful boxes and whole grain labels make them sound healthy, but many cereals are highly processed, loaded with sugar, and fortified with synthetic vitamins to make up for what's lost during manufacturing. Eating them regularly can lead to sugar cravings, energy crashes, and even nutrient imbalances. Instead, try plain oats, homemade granola, or unsweetened muesli topped with fresh fruit. Finally, instant soups. They're convenient, warm, and quick to prepare, but many are packed with sodium, artificial flavors, MSG, and very little actual vegetables or protein. High sodium intake can raise blood pressure and strain the heart over time. If you love soup, consider making big batches of homemade vegetable or bone broth soups and freezing them for quick, healthy meals. The bottom line, while mass-produced bread, sugary cereals, and instant soups can be convenient, they're best as occasional treats, not everyday staples. Swapping them for less processed, nutrient-rich alternatives can help you maintain steady energy, support your digestive health, and reduce your risk of chronic diseases. So next time you're at the store, think twice before reaching for that brightly packaged cereal or that instant noodle cup. Your body will thank you in the long run. 3. Crisps and biscuits. Write a detailed, engaging, and informative article about crisps and biscuits, covering their history, ingredients, manufacturing process, nutritional value, health concerns, and cultural impact. Begin with an introduction explaining why crisps and biscuits are popular worldwide, highlighting their convenience, taste, and variety. Then, explore the origins of crisps, potato chips, and biscuits, cookies, crackers in different cultures, noting how recipes and preparation methods evolved over time. Describe the typical ingredients and how different flavorings or fillings are created, including savory, sweet, gluten-free, and healthier alternatives. Explain the large-scale manufacturing process for both crisps and biscuits, from raw materials to packaging, including quality control measures. Provide a balanced discussion on the nutritional aspects, such as calorie content, sugar, salt, and fat levels, as well as how overconsumption can affect health, e.g., obesity, heart health, blood sugar. Include tips for choosing healthier versions or making them at home with less oil, sugar, or salt. Discuss the cultural and social role of crisps and biscuits in various countries, such as in celebrations, tea time traditions, picnics, and snacks for school or work. Conclude with a summary of key points and a reflection on how moderation and mindful eating can allow people to enjoy crisps and biscuits without major health risks. 4. Ice cream and fruit-flavored yogurts. Ice cream, creamy, cold, and impossible to resist on a hot day. And fruit-flavored yogurts. They sound so healthy, right? After all, yogurt has probiotics and fruit is packed with vitamins. But here's the truth. Both of these treats, while delicious, can be sneaky sources of sugar, artificial additives, and hidden calories that work against your health goals, especially if you're enjoying them every day. Let's start with ice cream. The average half-cup serving, just a tiny scoop, contains around 12 to 20 grams of added sugar. That's already half, or even more, of the daily limit the World Health Organization recommends for adults. And let's be honest, when was the last time you stopped at just half a cup? Fruit-flavored yogurt can be just as tricky. Many brands pack in sweetened fruit purees, syrups, or even high-fructose corn syrup. A single small cup can contain more sugar than a chocolate bar, without you even realizing it. Excess sugar spikes your blood glucose, triggers insulin surges, and over time, this can lead to weight gain, fatty liver, and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Now, let's talk about that fruit in fruit-flavored yogurt. In most cases, it's not fresh, whole fruit. Instead, it's processed fruit puree, heated, sweetened, and stripped of most of the fiber that slows sugar absorption. Without that fiber, your body gets a rush of glucose, giving you a quick burst of energy followed by a crash that leaves you craving more sugar. This is why it's so easy to eat sweetened yogurt daily and still struggle with sugar cravings, belly fat, and low energy. And in ice cream, the fruit, if it's even there, is usually more for color and flavoring than nutrition. Both ice cream and commercial yogurts often contain artificial flavors, stabilizers, and thickeners. Ingredients like carrageenan, guar gum, and artificial colorings might make the product smooth and visually appealing, but they don't do your body any favors. Some people even experience digestive discomfort or inflammation after consuming them regularly. So, what's the solution? You don't have to give up ice cream or yogurt completely. Life's too short for that. But you can make better choices. For ice cream, try making your own at home using frozen bananas, unsweetened cocoa, or real berries blended with a little plain Greek yogurt. This way, you control the sweetness and skip the artificial additives. For yogurt, choose plain, unsweetened varieties and add your own fresh fruit and a drizzle of honey if you want a touch of sweetness. Fresh berries give you fiber, antioxidants, and that natural sweetness your body can actually handle better. And if you really crave a store-bought option, look for labels that say, no added sugar, and check that total sugar is under 8 grams per serving. Remember, sugar isn't the enemy when it comes from natural, whole foods. But when it's concentrated, refined, and hidden in our favorite treats, it's easy to overdo it without even noticing. By making a few swaps, you can still enjoy creamy, cold, and fruity goodness, without sabotaging your energy, your waistline, or your long-term health. 5. Carbonated drinks and some alcoholic drinks including whiskey, gin, and rum. From that fizzy cola with your lunch, to a glass of whiskey after dinner, drinks are a big part of daily life for many people. They're refreshing, social, and sometimes even feel like a reward after a long day. But behind that sparkle or that smooth burn, carbonated drinks and alcoholic beverages, especially whiskey, gin, and rum, can quietly take a toll on your body over time. Let's start with carbonated drinks, both regular and diet. Regular sodas are loaded with added sugar, often 30 to 40 grams per can. That's more than your daily recommended limit in just one drink. This sugar rush spikes your blood glucose, stressing your pancreas and increasing your risk for insulin resistance, weight gain, and even fatty liver disease. But what about diet sodas? They might have 0 calories, but artificial sweeteners can confuse your body's hunger signals, affect your gut microbiome, and keep your sweet cravings alive, making it harder to avoid sugar in other foods. And then there's the carbonation itself. It may seem harmless, but excessive consumption can contribute to bloating, acid reflux, and in some cases, even weaken tooth enamel over time. Now let's move on to alcohol, specifically whiskey, gin, and rum. These drinks are more than just empty calories, they're a direct challenge for your liver. Whiskey is distilled and strong, with about 40% alcohol content. Even in small amounts, it forces your liver to prioritize alcohol breakdown over other important jobs, like processing nutrients and detoxifying your blood. Gin, though often mixed with tonic or soda water, still carries the same alcohol load, and when paired with sweet mixes, it can pack a hidden sugar punch. Rum is often sweeter in flavor and sometimes has added sugars, which, along with the alcohol, put double stress on your liver and blood sugar control. And here's the thing, alcohol calories are empty. They provide no vitamins, no minerals, but they still contribute to weight gain, especially around the belly. When you combine carbonation and alcohol, the effects can intensify. Carbonation can speed up alcohol absorption, making you feel the effects faster, which can increase the strain on your liver and impair your judgment sooner. That's why mixed drinks like rum and cola, or gin and tonic, can be deceptively strong, and very high in sugar. Over time, regular consumption of these drinks can lead to serious health issues, fatty liver, high blood pressure, heart disease, and increased cancer risk, especially mouth, throat, and liver cancers. Your digestive system can also suffer, with higher risks of acid reflux, gastritis, and nutrient deficiencies. And of course, alcohol can disrupt your sleep quality, leaving you tired and foggy the next day. The good news, you don't have to give them up entirely, just be mindful. For sodas, switch to sparkling water infused with fresh lemon, cucumber, or berries. For alcoholic drinks, stick to smaller servings, choose lower alcohol options, and drink slowly, alternating with water. Try alcohol-free versions of your favorites. There are now excellent non-alcoholic gins and rums that still give you that botanical or spiced flavor without the liver strain. Your body can handle the occasional treat, but it's the everyday habits that shape your long-term health. By making smart swaps and setting limits, you can still enjoy your favorite drinks, without paying a heavy price later. Cheers to health.